So you talk about the augmented age. What are the key skills that people should develop to stay relevant in this new era of augmented age, the techno-socialism that you talk about and the future that you talk about? What are the skill sets that one should have to stay relevant?
Well, we've talked a lot about the rate of change.
Mm.
So a superpower is adaptability, right? And in this day and age, I encourage everyone to use AI in your life as much as you can, because get used to that sort of collaborative approach with machine intelligence, because that's going to be a common process over the next 10 to 15 to 20 years as humans integrate artificial intelligence into society. That's going to be a powerful skill. So I say that there are two types of people in the world today. The first type is using AI to enhance their career, to build new businesses, to take themselves in new directions. And the second type of person is those that will be replaced by the first type.
So basically move back to the first type of people and then have a happy life ahead. That's the message.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, there will be, obviously, as I pointed out, there will be areas of focus, climate mitigation, the eco-refugee problem, things like that are very human problems that still need people really fixing that. And, maybe, one of the things I proposed in the book, Technosocialism, that people would have to do 2 years of community service to qualify for a lifetime UBI, like a military service program. But that program would be in climate mitigation, climate resilience, infrastructure resilience type thing, or, dealing with problems like food scarcity and the eco-refugee problem around the world. That would be the global sort of community service that would emerge. That's why we have to be a lot more consensus-based in the future as well. There's going to be a lot of cross-border negotiation. So the sort of stuff that we see happening with Trump and the isolationism and, strong nationalism here, that's sort of the last gasp of that system trying to assert itself, when that clearly has to change in the future.
Yeah, that's makes sense.
That's my impression, yeah.
So we spoke a lot about the future. My last question to you is, what excites you most about the future of the techno-socialism that you spoke of? And what should one do? Like, we obviously spoke about adaptability, but what should one do in the short run of 10 to 20 years, not just as an individual, but, towards the effort, as an individual, the effort towards the society? What should one do in next 10 to 20 years to prepare for that? So it's a two-part thing. What excites you the most about the future that you said? And how can an individual today prepare himself, herself, and the society at large for that future?
I mean, with quantum computing and AI both coming together, there's really, we're reaching a point of accelerated intelligence or accelerated learning or applied intelligence, where we'll be able to solve some of the most tricky problems that we've thought of, understand the universe and physics and, dark matter and, all of these sorts of things, maybe find other proof of life, like just amazing things. We're getting the tech with James Webb Space Telescope and other stuff now, and, the Europa Clipper mission and maybe, Elon putting boots on Mars sometime soon. These are really exciting things to observe. So the thing that makes me quite positive about this is that, the sky is the limit, that AI is going to make, these sort of things more and more possible. And a core element of that is longevity. So I ask people, what would you do with an extra 50 years? 50 years of good health, not 50 years of elderly health, 50 years of good, strong, robust health. What if you could have 4 careers, what would they be? And so if you start to think like that, it's pretty exciting. But in the short term, I would say our focus through this phase should be about fixing the problems in the current system as inclusive as possible, right? Is how do we create changes that are going to benefit more and more of us over time? And that's the power of these technologies, but it does require different thinking. Because the problem with the current system is we all compete against each other.
Hmm.
We compete for resources, we compete for salary, we compete for the best clothes or the best watch or,
Yeah.
whatever the case. So, we're in this competition. But it turns out that actually that competition amongst tribes and humans is a fairly inefficient organizing principle. That consensus-based approaches are actually much better at producing innovation faster. So you have, if you go back ancient examples like building ancient cathedrals or the Great Wall of China, more modern examples might be the Apollo project that got humans to the moon, or the
Hmm.
Human Genome Project, things like
Hmm.
this, where large bodies of people working together are extremely efficient. Even, mobilization during the Second World War and how rapidly technological progress was made there is evidence of consensus based. So consensus with AI is sort of going to be a superpower in terms of the species, but it does require us moving to sort of that different posture. But if I was to say to people to mentally prepare for this, just get comfortable with the rate of change, that from this point forward, it's all going to be different. And if you are comfortable with that, then be curious about what is possible and look for problems in the world that you think we could solve with these new technologies as they emerge, because chances are we will be able to fix them, quite soon.